Good morning and welcome back to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Danny Vittori, and today we welcome back Jim Cowdell from EDIC Lynn. Thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So you're here to talk about multiple projects that EDIC has in the works, but first of all, do you just want to really introduce your mission and what you do in the community?
Sure. Jim Cowdell, product of Lynn, born and raised here, lived here my whole life, will die here, hopefully not soon. EDIC, we've been around since 1977. It was created by the state legislature. There's about 10 or 11 of EDICs in the state. Various cities have them, so there's not a lot of them. We're in charge of economic development for the city. We are located in City Hall. We are a lender, and so we get money from the federal and state government. And then we turn around and do commercial loans. And we have a very low interest rate, which is lower than banks, at 4%. It's a fixed rate. So we're a lender. We also, as I said, are in charge of economic development. So we work hand in hand with the mayor, city council, the delegation, and really moving the city forward when it comes to economic development. So if I can't sell Lynn, then I shouldn't be here. You know, I'm so proud to be a Lynn resident, and I think that there are some great things happening in the city that all of us should be proud of. So.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things happening. The biggest of which is the South Harbor development, which is the largest investment in Lynn's history. So do you want to give some?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, when you talk about the waterfront, right, for a long time, the city's philosophy was anybody who wanted to open up on the waterfront, the city just said, go right ahead. It's why you have a Walmart on the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, when you think about that, it's the only one. It's why you have used car dealerships on the Lynnway, a junkyard on the Lynnway. So we came up with a vision. So before we get into Samuel's, it's very important to know we came up with a vision. You know, we have a master waterfront plan. We held 19 meetings.
Wow.
People from all over, you know, the city, business owners, residents came and spoke of what they wanted to see on the waterfront. And now you fast forward, that was 2003 when we started that process.
Wow. When
you look at the development that's starting to happen today, you're not seeing used car ownerships, you're not seeing fast food restaurants. No. So let's look at Samuel's, because as you said, it's the largest development in Lynn's history. And so this is Samuel's. If you look them up, they are a major developer. They've done a lot of development in the Fenway area of Boston and Hingham. And so it was critical to us. So this lot, just so the viewers know, as you're coming into Lynn over the bridge from Revere, this is the vacant lot, the first one that you see as you're coming over the bridge. We felt very strongly that we just didn't want to have apartments there, you know, and so we wanted to have a lot of things that the public would be excited about and would be able to use. So part of the project will be the creation of an 8-acre public park, and so I think that's awesome. It will have a corridor of restaurants and shops where people will come down, you know, to really activate that space. 10% of the units there will be affordable. It's the only waterfront project on the North Shore that has affordable housing associated with it. And as you said, it's the largest private investment in Lynn's history. It's over $400 million. When it's done, it'll probably be closer to $500 million. They will pay $120 million in real estate taxes over 30 years. And there will be 850 units of mixed income housing. And so that's looking at it from the Revere perspective, right?
Yeah.
So right now, today, it's a vacant lot. Look at what it's going to be. And that's definitely going to happen. You know, the city council approved it, the mayor approved it. Now they're getting their state permits. So it's a whole different, you know, it's the gateway to the city of Lynn. It's a whole different picture of what we are all about. So we're excited about that. That's a huge project. When will it start? We're probably about 16 months away from actual start.
Yep.
But getting closer and closer every day is a step forward. So we're excited about that. And they came to us, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing now. I spent a lot of time chasing developers, and the pendulum has completely swung where developers are now chasing us, and so it's really a good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're excited about that.
So you're going to totally transform what it looks like now versus what it's going to become.
Yeah, I mean, I'm old, but the last use of that lot, it was the Harbor House, it was a hotel. That's got to be 40 years ago.
Wow.
At least. And so it's just been a vacant lot, not utilized at all, and it's the first thing that people see when they're coming into our city.
Yeah, from
Whether
Revere, yeah.
they, you know, are stopping in Lynn or they're going to Swampscott, Marblehead, that's the first thing that they're going to see. And so we feel like this will change everything, and it's a game changer.
Oh,
And you're seeing other development along the Lynnway, right? So,
definitely.
you know, up by North Shore Community College, there's a $115 million development that has happened. And so things are happening, as I said.
You said development's happening, it's happening everywhere.
Yep.
And there's both businesses and establishments that are really rebounding from how low it got during COVID.
Yeah.
So you're starting to hit the highs in both in employment and then the establishments that we have in Lynn.
So COVID was the worst thing I ever saw as far as affecting businesses. You'd have to go back to the Great Depression to find something that impacted businesses like COVID did. 1 out of 4 restaurants across the country went out of business forever.
Wow.
And never to open their doors again. And so when you're looking at the employment numbers in Lynn, 2020, there's a significant drop, and there's the chart there, right? So you can see, these are the employment figures, right? So from 2019 to 2020, you can see a drop of almost 3,000. But now you can see the bounce back, right? And so, and businesses were devastated from COVID, but you can see the numbers have grown. We're back now to the pre-COVID numbers. And then, so those are the total employment numbers. But then we get asked all the time about, you know, how many businesses are in? Are we growing? Are we shrinking? And so I thought it was important to show the total establishments in the city. And so you can see steady growth, right? So
Right,
this is
yeah.
the number of businesses in the city, right? So you can see from 2020, which was the COVID year, you can see each year the number of establishments have grown. And so really when I was younger, right, Danny, we had big, large employers. You know, you had GE. After World War II, they had almost 30,000 employees. Today, they're still our largest employer. But when you're looking at the city of Lynn, you know, the last few years, we got Kettle Cuisine. They brought 100 jobs. Today, they have over 500. Market Basket brought 400 jobs with them. So those are what we call home runs in the economic development world.
Okay.
But that graph that the viewers just saw, small businesses is driving the economy in Lynn, right?
Right.
And so you're seeing the number of establishments in the last 4 years have steadily grown. So there's more businesses growing, opening up in the city, and that's what's driving the economy right now. And that's where EDIC plays a role. It's more the small businesses.
Yep.
You know, Market Basket, Kettle Cuisine were EDIC projects, but those are few and far between to land a large employer. It's the person that comes in every day to EDIC wanting to open up a small business, you know, that we try to help.
Yeah, and you help them so much with the loans and everything. And the other thing that came into that was transportation. Now people are coming in and out of the city, adding back in the ferry to try to alleviate some of the congestion on the roads.
There are more cars on the road.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it just seems like all of a sudden, to get from A to B is a problem. I had to go into Boston yesterday, right?
Right.
Usually it takes me about 35, 40 minutes. It took me an hour and 40 minutes
Oh
yesterday.
my gosh, yeah.
You know, and so, and then just getting around the city of Lynn, you know, there's a lot of cars. But for the people that go in and out of Boston, you know, the ferry is up and running. Historic numbers, you know, just for the summer months, just for June, July, and August, we had over 30,000 commuters.
Wow.
Yeah, and so for the first time this year, we had weekend services.
Yeah.
And so it was such a home run, and, you know, it's only a 30-minute ride. You leave Lynn, and you land right near everything in Boston, 30 minutes, right? And so it was used. And the other thing we try to educate folks about, and it's starting to catch on, in the summer especially, where you're looking for things to do, you could take a ferry ride from Lynn, go into Boston, 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Literally take a 30-second walk, get on another boat, go to P-Town, go to the Harbor Islands. It opens up all the water transportation, and so we're excited about that, the ferry. Tom McGee, who's a former mayor, former senator, he kind of created this drive way back in 2006. He's now the chairperson of the MBTA Board of Directors, so that helps us.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
you know, we have dreams and hopes. You know, the next step of that is we want to, down at the ferry site, we want to put a 2-story building there. And the first floor would be like a small coffee shop for the commuters. The harbor master office would be there, perhaps a fire department safety training office. They do a lot of water trainings down there. But the second floor, we would love to have a restaurant there.
Ooh.
Because that will bring people, you know, to the waterfront. And with the goal that some, you know, as things progress along our waterfront, folks would come from Boston to Lynn, not only Lynn to Boston. You know?
Right, yeah.
And so, no matter what metric you use, the ferry has been a home run and a success. It definitely will be back next year. I don't know the dates just yet, probably like April through November, but I'm just guessing, so I don't have that solid yet. I'm sure we'll have weekend trips next year as well. So, you know, so that'll happen, yeah.
No, it was awesome. I would take the ferry sometimes into Boston or back just with friends, just for fun, even the weekend.
Yeah, a lot of people
And
did that.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, you know, and I don't know when you took it, but it was cheap.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Reduced rates, $4 back and forth. I mean, it's a great ride. So that, we're excited about the ferry, and that ties into our vision along the waterfront, right?
Of course,
So
yeah.
we wanted that, we want development, but we want the right kind of development. So things, we have a very active planning department now that we work closely with, setting the vision, getting the right type of development, so.
We definitely have a very clear vision of what's happening. It all connects, and I do have to wrap up now, but I just want to thank you, Ann, for coming on to tell the community about all this upcoming exciting work.
Danny, thank you, and thank Lynn Community TV. You're doing a great job here, and a very important piece of the city of Lynn, so thank you.
Thank you, and of course, anytime. And once again, I'm Danny Vittori. This has been the Lynn Lowdown, and we'll see you next week with more guests.